Behind every successful business is the courage to make the right decision at the right time. Our guest today, Mr. Praful Yervankar, is the perfect example of that journey. Mr. Yervankar is the director and CEO of SourceIt, the general staffing vertical of Forex Group. Under his leadership, SourceIt has grown into a workforce solution platform with a portfolio of over rupees 700 crore, managing 40,000 plus professionals across India. An alumni of Velankar Institute, he began his career with Wipro BPO in 2005 and went on to hold leadership roles at Team Lease Service and Yoma Business Solutions. In 2018, he founded UNH Management Services, a milestone that laid the foundation for the platform he leads today. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Mr. Praful Yervankar. Hello, sir.
Hi.
So, sir, you have an extensive experience in B-school hiring. So, what are the biggest challenges MBA graduates face while entering to the corporate world?
I think the biggest challenge are two. So one is the culture, because whenever they enter an institute or a corporate, the culture is different from company to company. So whatever they would have learned or the atmosphere that they would have learned in, I think that is the biggest challenge. So adapting to that culture and the way the work happens inside the corporate is the biggest thing. The second is most of the curriculum that is designed inside all the educational institutes is mostly theoretical, and when you actually go and do something practically inside a corporate, so there's a difference between what you learned and what you're actually doing. So maybe you learning it at a pilot scale, but the scale at which you implementing that in a corporate is different. So I think these are the two major challenges that any MBA grad faces once he joins corporate.
So, before a merger or acquisition, what are the key factors you look in for a company? Like, is it growth, culture, financial, or values?
So I actually look at something which is beyond all these four aspects that you mentioned. We actually look at the founders who actually running the business, because those founders or promoters are the soul of that business, and they are the one who are driving it or not driving it properly. And if you are not in sync with the founders, then I don't think any of these aspects are important. The values that you just mentioned. So values are a de facto outcome of how the founders operate, right? Similarly, if the values are right, then the growth will automatically happen, and it is there on the balance sheets to look at. So for me, I think the founding team, the promoters, and the values that they have created within an organization, that are these two aspects are very important.
Okay, so founders and value matter the most.
Yes, yes.
Sir, is AI changing management roles? Like, how can MBA graduates stay relevant and future ready in this AI era?
See, honestly speaking, I don't think it has changed quite a bit. I look at AI as a tool, just like when we moved from print to social media or digital media, from a desktop to a laptop now. I think it's a enabler for us to do our existing job in a better way. I'll give you a small example. So earlier, so I have somebody who assists me on day-to-day basis with PPTs and Excels, budgets, and all of that, right? And one day I got hold of Claude, and all my presentations are now made by myself using Claude. That has not made the other person redundant. It is just that he is now doing something which he can put more brains at. So I don't think AI will drastically change anything. If at all, I think it will only make things better for everyone. It will become an enabler tool, provided you are ready to adapt to the whole thing. If you, of course, lag behind and say that no, I don't think this is working, then I think you're going to be lagging behind in the race. But otherwise, I think it's a great enabler for everybody to look at.
So, basically, adapting to the change is what matter the most.
Right, right.
So the new generation values flexibility and work-life balance. So how are companies adapting to these expectations?
Oh, big time. I think I was just talking to your management team as well, and I think flexibility and work-life balance is very critical. People at my generation, we always loved to go to office at time, finish our stuff at time, and then move out. However, especially after COVID, I think a lot of things have changed because people have got used to working in flexible environment, people who are working from home. So I think it is very imperative that companies also adapt to that change, have specific KRAs, KPIs defined, which are delivered on time, uh, create a culture which is more inclusive. In fact, the one of the best resources that we have within our organization is the one who comes the latest. So in spite of that, the work is completed on time, and in spite of that, the productivity happens. So while it becomes sometimes difficult to understand and adapt at our level because there still has to be some discipline around the whole thing. But I think eventually you need to have a good mix of discipline and the flexibility that people look for now. There's traffic building in, so people get stuck in for hours in traffic. So I think considering all of these put together, I think if you have a good mix of flexibility with productivity, I think that's the way to go.
So when hiring fresh talents or freshers, what matter most? Skills, attitude, or a combination of both?
I think a combination is very important. Skills is something that I always feel that skills are something that can be taught if you have the right attitude. If the person that you are having is coachable, if he has the basics right, then I think the skills are something which can be taught, and if the person is willing to learn. But if the person does not have the right attitude, then no matter how much hard or how much skillful that you are, it is going to be very difficult for you to go a long way. In fact, I always believe whoever I hire personally, or the hirings that go through me, I always think that does this guy has the right attitude and the required skills to become the next CEO of the company. It may not be my company; it could be another company that he or she decides to join later on. But if the person does not have the ability to be the next CEO, he does not go through the hiring process. So I think having the right attitude, being coachable, understanding the soft skills, the required soft skills that are necessary for doing a job, I think is more important than having the right skill. But I think skills are also important. It also depends from the jobs that you pick up. If you're doing a highly technical job and you do not have the required skills for doing that technical job, then of course that will not work. But having the right combination is very important.
What piece of advice would you like to give to the new generation to build a successful career while maintaining a balance in their life?
I think a very opportune time when we are actually discussing this question, when we have the youth making all the noise on the news. So I think the today's generation has a lot of energy, and it is very important for them to understand how they utilize that energy. How do they nurture that energy to do better in life. One of the things is having the right attitude, which I mentioned a while back, ensuring that you believe in yourself, and you have to ensure that you have the required amount of discipline to go the long way. I think if you have these two, three aspects in you, I'm sure there is nothing that can stop you from doing well in life.
Lastly, what message or suggestion would you like to give to our faculty, students, and our management?
So honestly, I don't think I am that experienced to give any suggestions to faculty or the management. I'm sure they are doing their job right. But overall, I think the dynamics of the market are changing. As you rightly mentioned about flexibility, The flexibility probably might be required in a educational institute as well. Maybe look within and understand if there is a need for that. The requirements of corporates are changing eventually. I think since whoever joins in with an intention of doing well in their career. So understanding that they're here to study, here to do well, and how is it that you can facilitate that whole thing. So rather than playing role of an administrator, if you can play role of a facilitator, I think that will help both the students and the institute.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing your valuable insights.
Thank you so much.